Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I'm Hamza Idris. As the countdown to Nigeria's 2023 presidential election begins, we take a closer look at two of the front-running candidates, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Today, we will be examining the various issues surrounding their campaigns, including youth mobilization, what sets the candidates apart, and the role of party loyalty versus manifesto and ideology. We'll be discussing the ways in which the candidates and their parties differ in terms of ideology and what prevents young people from running independent campaigns. Additionally, we'll discuss voter apathy and the impact of money politics and voter inducement on the democratic process. We have in the studio Emmanuel Ume. He is a member of the PDP Campaign Council Strategic Committee. We are also joined by Shehu Atta, a member of the APC and convener of Bola Tinubu School to School. Our guests will share their thoughts on how these candidates and their parties plan to address these pressing issues and how they plan to engage and mobilize young voters. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130.
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. Emmanuel Atta, welcome to the program.
Thank you so
I will
much.
start with you.
Okay.
Why Tinubu and why school to school?
Okay.
Not market to market, for
Okay.
instance.
Okay. The idea Bola Tinubu School to School is an idea with us because of the decadence in our educational sector. It's actually a campaign and an advocacy platform. We want to advocate for a complete overhaul and reform of our educational sector. And in doing that, we have clearly seen that decadence in our educational sector is linked to the development of the country, and it's linked to the insecurity in the country. If we can tackle the question of education, we'll have go a very high way in trying to tackle the issues the country have. So education is critical to any development of a nation. So that is why school to school.
And you went for Tinubu, not for Atiku,
Yeah.
not for Obi, not for Konkoso, not for Adebayo, not for Yabagi and all that.
Yes.
18 candidates.
Yes.
Why Tinubu?
Tinubu, because, sincerely, Tinubu, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our party leader, and by the special grace of God, the next president of this country come 2023 this year.
I can see Emmanuel smile.
We're winning the election, that is the truth about it. Has track record of capacity, has done a lot of things in Lagos, educational sector, we can see what he has done in Lagos in terms of investing heavily in the educational sector in Lagos. And we have so much confidence in him. He has shown from his track record that he can unify the country, he can provide the necessary leadership for the country, and he's the person to lead us. So that is why Tinubu School to School, we're confident that he's the one that will give us the leadership.
And I can see Emmanuel looking at you, nodding his head. I don't know whether he's actually in agreement with what you are saying, or
It's complete disagreement.
No, at the end of the day, you will get to agree with
It's
me.
complete disagreement.
Okay, now, before you disagree with him,
Yes.
you are a member of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, right?
Yeah.
Strategic. What are you strategizing?
It's basically, we're under, the strategic communication, who is under the leadership of Dele Momodu.
Okay.
So I'm a member of that committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you strategizing?
We're strategizing our victory. We're strategizing on how to go down to the grassroots, convince Nigerians, tell them our manifesto, preach to them the gospel of PDP and Atiku Abubakar, speak to them on restructuring, speak to them on empowering young people, speak to them on education, speak to them on improvement of the welfare of Nigerians, speak to them on even unemployment, creating opportunities for young people to be able to, get jobs, and then making a more viable, environment for young people to be able to strive and, do their jobs and at the same time make money for themselves.
All right, thank you. I will come back to you. It's not a debate,
but you said there was something I just need to.
Yes.
For me it was funny when he said he's a unifier.
Tinubu,
referring
to Tinubu.
Yeah, he's not, because this is what they always like to do. They always want to.
Even at you.
No, they always
kept saying.
Yeah, because if you go to the streets today and ask who has the mantra of a unifier, even a blind man knows that it's Atiku Abubakar. And this is what they always want to do.
And it's a generic word.
It's not just generic.
Unifier.
It's not just generic. It's that it is encapsulated in the personality of who Atiku Abubakar is. He's one person.
How?
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
A few days ago, the presidential campaign of APC, one of their campaign rallies, made a passing statement against the Southeast when he was trying to
was
take
it in
a jab.
Adamawa?
Yeah, I think 2 days ago or so.
Okay, yeah.
Where he was trying to take
Adamawa,
he was trying to take a jab at P2B, and then he passed a generic, passed an insulting statement to the people of the Southeast that if P2B had developed Anambra, that the people of the Southeast will not be populating Lagos. And I beg to wonder, is it only Southeast that is in Lagos?
Maybe you didn't understand what he was trying to say.
No. You see, it's not about understanding. He said it in simple English. And, I can't come out and say, because of one man, you insult the entire tribe.
But on many occasions, he has, even though, maybe I will allow you to
Yeah, I
respond.
will respond to him because,
Okay.
this is not about rhetorics. It's not about speaking good English. It's about track record, capacity, what you have done in the past.
You are trying to say good
Peter
English.
it's not about English or coughing out some statistics that I cannot even verify.
Even though he's not here to defend Peter Obi, he's here to actually speak on behalf of.
I'm saying you can take a jab at
Yeah.
P2B without insulting the entire tribe. That's what I'm saying.
My brother,
and that was condescending from the presidential
Leadership.
Leadership is about your track record.
Yes.
And your ability to plant your vision on your followers. From antecedents of Ashiwaju, we have seen what he has done. You are from the Anambra State. Your brother was a commissioner in Lagos. Can you tell me confidently how many commissioners or Peter Obi from Anambra, how many other regions of the country did he take his
represented?
Were represented. So this is practicality.
So
now we're not talking about
because
English
Anambra
language.
is a small state.
I'm getting it. And you have seen Lagos.
Yeah.
In Lagos, they don't want to know where you come from. You go to Lagos. How someone will go to Lagos and thrive? Dangote is building. Dangote Ekanoma is building the largest refinery. Has built the largest refinery in the whole of West Africa or Africa in Lagos. Please, 90% of his business is in Lagos. If governance in Lagos have not provided those conducive environment for you, will they thrive in Lagos?
Okay,
and you can point other regions of the country that people have invested heavily in Lagos.
And as I said, it's not a debate.
Yes, I'm not here, first and foremost, to speak for P2B. He's not a member of my political party.
Exactly.
So when a Labour Party member comes, you can direct that question to him.
Exactly.
Then secondly, can we stop this generalization of Tinubu built Lagos? He did not. And I have every evidence to prove that. You need to go back in the 60s and look at how Lagos was. In fact, as a matter of fact, I challenge him here to mention three bridges that Tinubu constructed from 1999 to 2003. Every time you hear them speak, oh, Lagos, they like taking the glory of his predecessors, either from Fashola, what's the other one, the one that left, last in 20... Akinwumi Ambode, or even the current governor. They like taking their...
But even the
one that even presides Tinubu...
He brought the blueprint.
Let me tell you what blueprint. Let me tell you, there's no Lagosian today that can tell me Jakande. The Lagos that you're talking about today, the modern Lagos today, know what Jakande did alone in the housing estate in Lagos. Tinubu did not even come 1/3. You can ask Lagosians. You can go to Lagos.
Okay.
So this is not. I don't want us to bring.
Yeah.
This is about what our presidential candidate. Exactly.
So I will ask you the next question.
Okay.
Of course, this advocacy you are doing.
Yeah.
Is it out of conviction? Because you are youth. We are discussing youth.
Yes.
Youths are watching us.
Yes.
Is it out of conviction, or you are expecting a reward?
No, everything I'm doing for Bola Tinubu School to School is out of conviction, because I'm a beneficiary. I attended an LEA school, a primary school, and I happen to be one of the pioneer students in School for the Gifted, Gwagwalada. That was a public school established by the late General Sani Abacha. So, and this is the public school that gave me the foundation I'm enjoying today, the confidence, the foundation I'm enjoying today, the capacity was built from day one from public schools. Where are those? The question I continue to ask is that, where are those our public schools today?
Yes, what happened to them?
What happened to them? So, and I have checked the antecedents of Asiwaju in Lagos. His investment in public education, his investment heavily in in terms of infrastructure, in terms of empowerment of schools and things like that in Lagos. And we strongly feel that he's the one to provide this leadership to rebuild and revamp our public education. And that is why we were supporting him through this Bola Tinubu School to School.
Okay, so I will allow you to respond. But before then, I want to ask, what are you really telling these young people? I'm sure you're approaching your students in maybe higher secondary school,
yes,
and then higher institutions like polytechnics,
yes,
universities, and colleges of education.
Yes.
What are you telling them?
Yes, we are telling them that we have our candidate has a manifesto, and we have gone through this manifesto critically, and our candidate has spelled out what he intends to do with when he becomes the president of Nigeria comes February, after the election, come February 2023, he has a clear-cut vision as to what he wants to do in the educational sector, and we can easily link this to his antecedents in terms of investing heavily in infrastructure, in terms of investing heavily in human capacity development, that is lecturers, teachers for our schools, and in terms of even engaging the community where these schools reside to be active participants in the future of our educational sector. So what else do you want?
And I can see Ume is actually getting agitated. I don't know. I should just allow to talk without a question.
I'll answer the question directly.
Okay, without me asking it. Okay.
It is unfortunate that I saw my brother here.
Okay.
Come here, to do a campaign against the APC government. First,
okay, how a campaign for APC or
a campaign against
you had him?
How?
Against,
okay, fine.
And I'm going to explain
campaign
that.
against APC.
Yes,
okay,
and I'm
why?
going to explain that. He's here complaining.
Yes.
What happened to the school? He went to a good gifted school, right?
Yes.
He was complaining and telling you how gifted school was.
Yeah, and that was where he actually became what he is today.
Exactly. But see, today, even the Minister of Education came out to say he was a failure. Not me, him.
Well, he said he was misquoted.
No. You see, this is the problem.
Is the normal rhetoric?
Exactly. You say something with your mouth and you say you're misquoted. Today, you cannot boast. If you ask of the educational sector today in this administration, mind you, this man has been a minister for 7 years. You cannot boast of anything tangible. And this is not me playing politics. Under this administration, we had our students stay at home for close to 9 months. Nobody was disturbed, At the time, you remember the meeting between the Minister of Education and representatives of the students' union, and he worked out on them. So when my friend comes here and starts speaking about the educational sector, what
he said, he actually.
I'm going somewhere.
All right.
You know, for me, it's funny because their presidential candidate, as of today, is still controversial. That we don't even know the primary school he attended, we don't even know the secondary school that he attended. Unlike my presidential candidate,
20 million children out of school.
He just finished his master's degree program.
But what I want to no, I have to interject here because
I wish you did not just stop.
You can't put something on nothing.
Can I just finish my train
fine.
of thought? Yes, then you can, And then this is not just somebody that understands the value of education. That's the point I'm trying to make. That at that age, he's not going to school to look for job. He's not going to school to look for. He's going to school to improve himself. That's number one. Number two, this is somebody that under the administration of Obasanjo and Atiku, they established what we call today UBEC, University Basic Education, where if you go probe further, it gives an opportunity for young people of the downtrodden, to be able to go to school free of charge.
Yeah, the Universal Basic Education Commission.
That was
UBEC.
the creation of the PDP.
But the latest statistics.
Yeah.
23 million?
Good. That 23 million.
Some are saying 23 million, some are saying 20 million, UNESCO, UNICEF and all.
But you see, it is under, and that's why I'm saying that it's a failure of the APC government.
Why? How?
Can I finish?
Yes.
It's a failure of the APC government that you have first a minister that doesn't even understand the importance of education.
The PDP left the figure over 10 million.
Good.
So maybe the APC built on that. So maybe indictment of the two.
So this is the problem, right?
Okay.
And you see, unlike us, when we came in power in 1999, you can go and investigate. The economy of this country, the GDP growth was at 0.5% growth rate. Our reserves was at almost ground zero. The crude oil sales at that time was about $15 or $16 per barrel. Now we came into government and we didn't go and start saying the military destroyed Nigeria. We didn't start that
song. Many people said so.
No, we did not.
Many people.
But not PDP. No, can I finish? In 1999,
yes,
we did not. Instead, what happened? We rolled out our sleeves and we started work. And guess what? In less than 3 years, we got a GDP growth rate of 15%, the highest till today. And we did that in less than 3 years. We did that in 1999/2000.
Maybe because of the fortune that came from
oil.
There
was no fortune. I just told you here now that crude oil sales was selling for $15, $16 per barrel. It took the ingenuity of the Obasanjo Atiku government. You remember, we cleared our debt. We did not.
But there are many questions on that clearing of debt.
Let me address.
As of today, okay, he will learn.
As of today,
even though it's not a debate, as I said, we're trying to.
Of course. But as of today, this government is leaving 77 trillion naira debt.
But by 2003, it rose to, $30 per barrel. And when you put
this is
the value of the naira,
so this is
exchange rate.
So who destroyed the value of the naira today?
Okay. I think we'll answer that. But I want to ask this question before you answer, because as I said, it's not really a debate, but to actually contextualize issues for the benefit of our youth. You are not competing.
No.
Of course, you are competing to get to the presidency.
Yes.
But
this is a contestation of ideas.
Is to cross-fertilize and see how we can carry the conversation forward. Universities, they suffer the worst experience under this administration because of the, number of months students stay at home. That was why earlier I asked you, why did you take education? I said, why not maybe market to market? It's like you gravitated towards a very slippery area to convince young voters to go for your candidate. I don't know. That's why I say, what are you really telling them? Beyond the manifesto of Tinubu, to convince them that these strikes that you experienced in the past couple of years, you will not experience them going forward?
You know, it's not about the strike or what is happening, what has happened to our educational sector in recent time. He was busy here telling us about what they have done, this.
You also told us what they did, what Tinubu did in Lagos. He's trying also to actually counter
that is a good one.
Some of the
it's a good one.
Said, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying here is, I attended secondary school under the military regime. What did the PDP government did afterwards? They collapsed our public institution, privatized most of the public.
You're trying to say the rot started from there.
Yes, his principal. He can confirm. He's an owner of a higher institution in Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, one of the most expensive. I don't think an ordinary man on the street can afford that. That APTI in Adamawa State. You cannot afford it.
I will respond to you.
No, you see, I did not interrupt you.
No.
You cannot afford it. So
right.
his principal supervised the privatization of most of our public institutions in the country, sold them to his cronies and all that. We are about telling our principal, because of his track record in educational sector in Lagos, we believe so much in him. We want our public institution revived. We have done, like 16 years of PDP collapsed our educational sector. The government in the last 8 years has done its best to see how we can revive what they left off our educational sector. And we're doing our best in most of these instances. So basically that is it. So we were taking the campaign, like I told you, to a higher institution. We're going to tell them what our principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, intends to do in our educational sector. You know, we cannot continue to complain about where we are, but we need to look ahead and forge ahead.
So you are convinced you are on the same page with our students in the universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Ume,
yes.
it's not about responding.
No. I need to, because there was a misconception. You tried, to speak about the university. For me, anybody, you can go and do a quick fact check. The registration of that university even started, I think, a year or so before when he entered into government. It is when they registered that university. And my candidate has never claimed to be a poor man to start with. That's number one. That's number two. Number three, when he spoke about, the high cost of private university, anywhere in the world, private universities are always expensive. Anywhere in the world. And, to tell you that my candidate has the human side, I'm sure you remember that he gave the Chibok girls that escaped.
Well, not to actually defend what you are saying or to listen. I actually attended the second matriculation of APTI University. This was in 2006 as a reporter from this company. I was there. So I know, of course, like any other university, they say, okay, there is scholarship, there is this.
So he gave scholarship. He gave scholarship to Chibok girls who today they've graduated and they've traveled abroad to further their education in terms of masters.
What people are saying is that if government of the PDP and by implication APC, they have done the right thing, the public universities wouldn't have, gone so down to the extent that people are scrambling to now sell their houses to sponsor their children in private universities.
I went to a public school, right?
Just like me, like him.
But it is the failure of this government who have failed to sustain. We created not just policies, we created, I just spoke of UBEC that was created, and the reason why that commission was created.
But I think your government is more guilty of this.
No?
Yes.
Let me tell you why I said I disagree.
Okay. Okay. Because the proliferation of the
private universities came, they supervised
TED fund was created under our government.
Yeah.
And if you go to schools today, to universities today, if not for TED fund, the universities will almost be at ground zero. I challenge you to bring any lecturer to here to tell you the impact TED fund is making in public universities today.
Yes, they are really doing well.
So when you say you're blaming us, that's not correct.
Why I'm blaming all of you? Honestly, I'm not also blaming, but I'm only speaking the minds of Nigeria. I'm just an anchor of this program. I'm not part of it. They said ASU problem started since during PDP.
Good. So this is it, right? ASU's problem started, they knew about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they made promises.
And they couldn't read it.
So why you were out? You blamed.
And
no,
you,
no.
why
this
did
is-
your government, the APC government, why did you can see?
You blamed us, and you said we were failures.
No.
In que-
I am not. Okay.
in question mark.
Good.
And then they voted us out in 2015.
They voted.
You remember that the presidential candidate of their party in 2015 promised student loans and said 4 years will be 4 years. You remember that campaign? On one of the rallies, he said 4 years will be 4 years and there will be student loans. They asked the spokesman of
Yeah, they said what they were expecting was not what they meant.
Good, so that's a failure. And I just gave you here statistics that when we entered into government, let me tell you, if it's about complaints, we had every right to give complaints. What most of the public institutions that you see today were created, is it EFCC, is it ICPC, is it the monetary policies today? Whether you talk about, what do you call it, what's this policy that you before you get your money, in the banks.
Okay, and NIN and all that.
IPs and the rest.
Yeah.
They all created NIN and every other, they were all created under the PDP administration. Why?
But they
Because
didn't start implementing some of them until
we
when?
started, no, you see, this is the thing.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying,
Yes.
right? That if you talk about ideas that will move this country forward, they did what they call whistleblowers policy. Where is it today? It's dead.
Yeah.
They couldn't even sustain their own policies that they created.
Okay.
So if you talk about the PDP and the APC, by nowhere can you compare. Look at the dollar, for example.
Well, I will come to that. I will come to election.
Look, let me tell you.
I want to bring in Atana.
Today, the naira is
Yes.
among the worst performing currency in Africa, not even in the world. What a
Start to
shame.
hear this. Okay,
What a
Ata,
shame.
please come in.
Yeah.
And of course, he has rolled out
And we have
many
a- and we have a
achievements.
solution.
Let's
I will have a
have an
solution to that.
interview. Let's have an interview.
Women.
Yes, sorry. Let's have an
Yes,
interview.
so some of the achievements people
Yeah.
are talking about. Is it the PIA? You are taking the credit, the second Niger bridge, and
Which
all
was
that.
started by us.
You have. Is it true?
We paid for it and was
When you
started by
come
us.
to when you come to a national TV
Yes.
and you make submissions you can't even justify, like Second Niger Bridge was started by you.
I challenge you. We paid money. I challenge you to fact check.
Second Niger
I
Bridge
challenge you
was
to
started.
fact check.
I will even debate.
I challenge you to
I will
fact
not-
check. We paid money for
let me
Second
hear
Niger
from
Bridge.
Ata.
Let me hear from
Please,
a
I was not
PPP project.
interjecting you. I wasn't
Yes.
interjecting you. I kept quiet when you were reading
it's
out
okay.
your
It's
first.
okay. It's part of the
I don't.
conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't interject when you make your comments. Just let me make my point.
Okay.
You get. See,
Yes.
when you come out to the national TV and you read out, you make comments you cannot even justify. The issue with the
So they are questionable?
Yeah, they are questionable
Okay,
comments.
How?
He just told us now to the
Because
national
people must start somewhere.
the Second Niger Bridge, they started it on 3D. You said now you paid money for 3D designs
I
and
can
you are telling
challenge
me
you.
just calm down, brother. Calm down. I was not interjecting you.
Okay, fine.
You spend our billions on your 3D and we came and gave you people. You should be praising this government for what you have done for
And
you.
maybe decamp to
I
your
get
party.
you have to decamp to APC
You
for
see,
what
he's
you
not
have done
even
to
being
you.
factual.
For more than
He's not
being
16
factual.
years, that bridge was on 3D. And it's on record that it is the government of President Muhammadu Buhari that laid the foundation that built that bridge.
That's lies.
Your vehicles are
Can you
flying
just
that
do a
road
fact
in
check,
Anambra.
Joseph? Can you just do a
That
fact
is
check?
one of-
We have
that
a
is-
background
that
team doing the
is-
fact check.
that
Yeah,
is-
and,
that is
So
the
people don't
biggest
come on that.
infrastructure
These are
today in the
international
whole
platforms,
of
so people don't come and
Southeast.
mislead.
Okay.
You are
Now-
the greater
Nigerian.
beneficiary.
Okay. You have all rolled out achievements.
can I just-
I want us to move on. No, I don't want
No,
you to.
we'll move on. But
Hold
it is
on,
good.
Oga,
But
let's
no,
have
but
an
we'll move on.
interview.
But you see, it is wrong because
If you are going to
he said I
continue the
lied.
way you are going to
He said I
continue,
lied.
if you are
No,
going
you
to
didn't
continue
lie.
your
No, he
own
said I
way,
lied.
if you are
But
going
it
to
is wrong
continue,
for him to
It's-
come
I think
here.
it's
No,
political
if I
comment.
if you are going to
Of course,
continue,
but it's wrong
if you
for
are
him
going
to
to
come-
continue
for him
your
to
way,
come
you
here-
will not have an
For him to
interview.
come here and give fake and false information.
All
Now,
right.
I
What's for
challenge-
that? To
I
build the
challenge-
Second Niger
I
Bridge?
challenge your
Okay.
crew. I challenge your crew
Okay.
to build the
Okay,
Second
I want us to go on break now. I want us to go on break now.
Construction
This
going on
one-
in that Second
Please.
Niger Bridge.
Ume?
And we paid money for it.
Ata?
And to make matters
Money
worse,
for 3D,
their
3D.
government
Can you listen
came
to
and
me?
stopped-
They
Can
paid
you-
money for 3D.
Yes.
After collapsing our educational sector
the
in
argument is
16
actually getting
years,
hot. We are
they-
going on
they-
break,
they paid
and
money for 3D.
when we come back, the conversation continues. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Because if you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. Yes, Atta Ume, PDP, APC, education strategy. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I want us to actually fine-tune the conversation beyond what you people have done. We are looking forward now. First to Skamo, you know, who is in charge of voter education. He said, from the 9.5 million newly registered voters, 7.2 million, representing 76.56% are young people. How are you harnessing these young people to the advantage of the APC?
Yeah, our party, the APC, and has support groups. Today we have the highest number of support groups in the country. We have over 5,000 support groups.
5,000?
Over 5,000 support groups rooting for our candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. My own support group, the one I convened, Bola Tinubu School to School, is one of them.
Wow,
I just
one of the
over 5,000. I just came back from Kogi State. Over the weekend, we established our campaign structure to cut across the 21 local government in Kogi State that are going to take this campaign to the grassroots. Okay. What I mean by the grassroots, the schools, you know, the community, we are going to be targeting the students in the higher institution. They are going to take the manifesto, the breakdown of our manifesto to the grassroots. So this is what we are doing to ensure that the message of our principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gets to the grassroots where the votes counts, where the votes are. This is just 1 out of 5,000. So this is what the party is doing to see that we incorporate the youths into the whole of this campaign, to see that we educate the youth on who their next leader is going to be, by the special grace of God, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we have done tremendously well. And secondly, our party have what we call the independent campaign group, the ICC, that is responsible, that is coordinating the activities of these support groups. And we're doing excellently well. So far, we have done a lot in this. I just told you about my own group, and several other groups is there
doing the same.
Nationwide, doing the same like
in
that.
addition to the question I asked him, you know, what you are doing to harness the 7-point-something new voters that are young people, 7-point-something million. Lagos so far has the highest number of prospective voters, followed by Kano. These are APC states. Is your party threatened? So it's like two questions in one for you.
Yeah, so to start with first,
yes,
what we're doing for young people, you know, we recently set up our campaign council for the youth demography in the party. Okay. We didn't even just stop there. We set up a campaign council for those you call what do you call them again?
They're young people also.
Basically young people, but you know, those with disabilities, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we set up a campaign council for those
persons with disabilities, and then maybe women.
And then there's a general campaign council. So all this is to try and make sure that we get, you know, through to the, you know, local level in times. And I told you what we are doing in grassroots campaigns. But beyond that, the party too is giving positions to young people leadership because we believe that they are not just good to go and do grassroots campaigns. They are also good to give leadership positions to. And that was why in our manifesto we have promised 40% of appointive position to young people. If you check today, we have the youngest youth leader in the country today.
Compared to the youth leaders of other political
parties,
okay,
who is just 25 years, you know. And you can imagine that he's in the highest decision making of an executive, you know, party.
Yeah.
So we are not just giving rhetorics. We are also working with numbers. Saying we're empowering young people. I'm a young person.
Yeah.
I just told
and that's why we brought you.
Yeah, honestly. I'm a member of a strategic, you know, committee, which is one of the highest, you know, in the campaign council. So for us, we're not just, you know, giving victories. And that's why, if you have seen the manifesto. So being serious now, if you've seen the manifesto of our presidential candidate, he has spoken on issues that affect young people. He has spoken on the $10 billion stimulus.
And people keep asking where he's going to get the money.
Exactly, and I will tell you how he's going to get the money. So we've said subsidy has to go. For example, we're paying just this year.
The other time he said he will sell the refineries.
He said he will sell, and guess what? Guess what? He has lost. That is something.
Renege on that.
Yes, because let me ask you: in the last 3 years, the refineries have generated zero kobo, zero in the last 3 years. So guess what? We are paying staffs, and we are running at negative. So what is the point of having moribund refineries?
Okay, we'll get to that. But now, are you threatened by high number of voters in Lagos and Kano?
How are we threatened? We're not. Let me tell you why.
I will come to you. I can see you are actually also getting agitated. You want to respond to someone?
But we're not threatened at all. We're not. And I can assure you, by the grace of God, that my candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, will emerge victorious on the 25th of February 2023. And you will bring me here, and you bring him here.
To come and celebrate. Okay. You want to say something?
Yes, you see, from his response to your question, what are they doing to ensure that the message of his principal, Atiku Abubakar, is taken to the grassroots? He could not even answer you properly because they don't even have any plan to take the message to the grassroots. They don't have structure. He was struggling to remember.
He mentioned
he was struggling to remember efforts. That they even have some kind of youth. He was struggling to remember.
People
I
with
clearly
disabilities.
told you here
that
we have over 5,000 support group rooting for our party, that organized group for our party, and beyond that, our candidate is the only candidate that has mentioned in our manifesto that he's going to have about six ministerial positions for people 50 years and below, and 4 of those positions is going to be occupied. It's going to be occupied by the persons under the age of from 40 years and below. You get so you see that is and we are taking these messages.
That's poor.
Okay,
and we're taking this.
He said the percentage is poor.
I'm saying that we're giving 40%.
No. He's actually interjecting.
And we're taking this, and we're taking our campaigns to the grassroots through an organized structure. We are the only party in Nigeria today that have ICC, the Independent Campaign Council, taking the message of our principal to the grassroots and telling Nigerians what the next government intends to do for them. And so far, the response has been very awesome. And you can see that our candidate has been transversing the length and breadth of the country. Where is your candidate today? We can't even find him on the campaign trail.
He said that, yesterday people said he was in London, right? UK, yeah.
But you see,
I've been out of campaign for more than a month.
Okay,
for more than a month, I've not seen his principal.
I will feel ashamed.
He said they would not treating in Lagos and Kano. You have something to say on that?
What do you say?
They are not treating in Lagos and Kano, despite the numerical strength of voters, that they will take over Lagos, they will take over Kano.
You don't come here and start deceiving yourself. We just had our campaign in Kano about some few days ago.
Yeah.
Go and check the media.
They said it was a rented crowd.
It was rented.
How are you going to? I dare them to say whether they will say Nigeria. Because the next thing you have
do you have the capacity to pay for over 10 million crowd that came out in Kano?
How will you lie like this?
Do you have the capacity to pay for it?
You say 10 million. What is the total population? What is the total population of Kano that you said that 10 million?
I think the summary from my end is that there will be serious battle in court for Kano and Lagos.
So this is what I'm going to say to him.
I want to ask you now. We are discussing youth. Please, I want you to answer this. The issue of voter apathy is a serious problem.
Yes.
And the older ones are skeptical that the youths will come out to vote, that they are just social media warriors. Yeah. What do you have to say on this?
So this is what I will say. First, I will answer that question, but it's good that we always give a background so people don't come here and then, give information that's not true.
Okay.
I have said that my candidate has promised to give 40% of ministerial appointments and then other appointments to young people. I would feel ashamed as a young person that a presidential candidate is coming to tell me as a young person that you dedicate only 6 ministerial positions
out of 36.
out of 36, of which is
In
even
addition to zonal ministers.
So it's even going to exceed 36. I would feel ashamed.
But maybe there will be other positions.
And I think as a young person coming here to defend it, he should feel ashamed of himself to start with. That's my friend.
So you can see it was now 1-1.
So
earlier when he said
your,
lies, he was not actually talking about your integrity. He was talking about figure. So you are also saying the same thing.
Yes, I'm
so
saying
I think we are on the same page.
Yes. So now on to you, the question you asked me. Sorry.
Yes.
The question. Can you just repeat the question?
What I said is that there is this fear that most of these young
remember,
people,
yes. Yeah. So when you talk about voter apathy, you blame this APC government, and I will give you.
And
facts.
He will answer.
Yes, facts.
Yes. You can see he's very quiet, waiting for you to actually.
I will use his state as an example.
Okay, Kogi.
You're talking about voters apathy. Look at what happened during the governorship election.
In
for
Anambra.
the first time in Kogi.
Okay, in Kogi, the last one.
Yes, for the first time, I saw people shooting with helicopters shooting voters.
Shooting with helicopter.
The video is.
Was it reported?
It was. I'm telling you. Again, I said fact check me. I'm happy that you have people.
I think that video is still a subject of fact check.
I'm telling you that they could not deny it. What happened to the women?
Sometimes
let me finish.
When lies are too difficult to actually.
Let me finish.
Okay.
What happened to the women leader in PDP? That her only crime was because she was a PDP member. Guess what? Thugs of the APC government went to her house, burnt her.
It's an allegation because the police are yet to come out. Well, I'm trying to actually, NBC is also watching us.
He's here. He can defend that for himself.
Yeah. But you see,
no, I'm coming now. Let me finish. These things I'm saying is not.
Okay, these are not
something I'm making up.
All right.
APC thugs went. They did not just went to her house, burnt that woman alive.
Allegedly.
My brother, I attended the 1-year memorial of that woman.
But people can say anything.
No, please.
Okay.
I attended because this is things that bother in life. And I attended the memorial of that woman. And I watched her daughter and the husband speak. And I cried that day because
they are allegedly accused.
My brother, whether you say allegedly or not, we know
that is the term in media.
That election was between PDP and APC. Let's be truthful here. This is not politics. This is about life. Now, you're talking about young people coming out to vote in terms of voter turnout. These are the issues because this APC government have made it, they've made the election more or less like a war, where people come out for elections. And they are being shot, and that's why people are not coming out.
Fine. The government is actually, or INEC, let me put it this way, that we are going to have the best of elections, courtesy of innovations, brought by this government. Okay, yeah, especially the 2022 Electoral Act. This is a credit for your party, and are we really going to see a change in terms of the voter apathy that we are discussing?
Okay, definitely. I would like to address some of the things you used, then I'll come to the question.
I said allegedly, so I don't want us to actually debate that.
I won't not digress on the
content. Okay, fine. Please don't.
The issue of voters apathy is something that I think I believe that's going to be a good turnout in the next election, save for some region of the country that has made governance very difficult. And he's from Anambra, he knows what I'm talking about. Okay. He's from Southeast. They've been going around, their youths have been going around burning the INEC offices and here and there making.
Please, let's not stereotype.
Yeah. Exactly. So they've been, so that's and
at the beginning of the conversation, I was so happy because all of you started on a good note.
So you see, the government is doing its best to give us, and our president Muhammadu Buhari has promised that he's going to give us a most credible election, and from the level of preparation so
like
far.
the beavers, right?
Yes, and from the
Like the electoral
from the acts, from the level of preparation so far, okay, apart from the fact that the policies are in place, they have signed the electoral act into place.
Over 92 million prospective voters.
This is it is even a light of hope for the opposition, because they see that there's a leader that
light of hope.
A light of hope that's going to give us a credible election now, and government is working towards that. And secondly, the issue of voters' apathy. When you have insecurity here and there, government is trying its best to douse the level of insecurity, and we believe that that's going to be a good turnout, because there's never been this level of participation, especially from the youths. For a very long time. There's going to be a fantastic
so it will be like a game changer.
Turnout, there's going to be a turnout of the youths. And in our own party, what we are doing to ensure that we communicate to the youths and
that their lives are assured.
That their lives are assured, and that they're going to participate.
Security is guaranteed. Yeah.
And from all indicators so far, we have been doing a lot of engagement. We have been doing a lot of educating our youths, and we have been enlisting a lot of them through our support groups. And the outcome, let me tell you, brother, has been very awesome. You don't come to national TV and start rolling out
yes,
comments that you cannot even justify.
You see, I have this concern, and it's actually the concern of every other person. With the huge population of youths, we ought to have seen the flag bearers to be young people. What is actually the problem? We are not taking on a serious note, because you are here campaigning for Atiku. Atiku is over 70. You are here campaigning for Tinubu. Tinubu is also over 70. Don't you feel indicted? It's a question for the two of you, but you will start answering it.
Okay. So to start with, first and foremost, just to add to this, apathy you're talking about, INEC just came out 2 days ago to say that elections might not hold.
And the federal government countered, saying
INEC is the one that's
hold.
in charge of conducting, just to put it out there. So when you say an indictment to me,
yes, as a young man, a vibrant person,
I smile. You know why I smile?
No,
I'll tell you why. The former president of Nigeria, Ebele Jonathan, was the president at his 50s, if you remember very well. Umar Yar'Adua was the president in his 50s.
Yeah.
Obasanjo was the president in his 60s. So I don't know if people ask young people that campaigned for Trump or that campaigned for the current president as an indictment. It wouldn't be an indictment.
I'm the one who really asked.
Yes, because it's a matter of choice. Now let me tell you why I said it's a matter of choice. I just gave you, presidents in their young ages.
Yeah.
Which apparently were under the PDP. So if today we've had presidents in their 50s and then we're having a presidential candidate in his 70s, I am not, I'm not a big fan of, because he's old, then that means he's cancelled. No, I want young people to come into government, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also good to question the ideas of who is coming, because I will not support maybe a governor or a presidential candidate because he's young and then he doesn't the quality of
ideas.
The quality of his
so
ideas.
If I understand what you are saying, you are for Atiku because you believe that
in his vision, his ideas, and this is somebody that is consistent.
Okay, fine.
So this is because
we are running short of time.
So just
I want Atta to also. Do you feel indicted that you are campaigning for other person?
I think this is the only way.
Point of convergence. Oh, I am happy.
This is the only point of convergence today, because sincerely, like
President Buhari signed the not too young to run. Yes, but we still have.
Coincidentally, my party, the APC, is the only party that have a recognized structure for the youths. Sitting here today, I'm a member of the Presidential Campaign Council. I'm not just in any.
I just said we have.
I'm happy you are on the same page.
I'm not just in any strategic. I'm in the stakeholders committee.
Okay, fine.
Of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. And let me tell you what my party is doing.
Okay.
My party is the only party in Africa today that have a formal structure for the youths. That the youth wing. So my party is the only party that have a clear-cut successor plan for the youth. If you go into our presidential campaign council today, you see a lot of people of like mind, of my age range, that are in the presidential campaign council. That means we'll have a clear-cut successor plan, and we're not throwing away the experience of the old. Yes, we're not throwing away the experience. Our older generation are guiding us properly to be able to take over from them, and that is why we respect our old. They have the experience, they have seen a lot that we have not seen yet, and they are guiding us, they are giving us the tutelage, they are giving us the mentorship, and there's a structure, a formal structure. Beyond the APC youth wing, we'll have the APC formal campaign wing for the youths.
Thank you. Before I move to him for his final comment, I will take your final comment. What are you doing to actually change the narrative? Because the August at the top, the presidential candidates and some of your senior colleagues, you see them hurling insults, name dropping, name calling and all that, which is not really good. So as young people, what is your suggestion? This is for all the candidates.
Yeah. So our suggestion is that we are trying to, our participation in politics, directly or indirectly, is trying to encourage more young people to participate. You know,
an ideologically based campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
Is directly or indirectly encouraging more young people to participate. If you see the level of participation from the young group, especially from my own young people, especially from my own party today, is heartwarming, because so many young people have convened support groups that are rooting for these our candidates.
Very much, I will stop you there.
That's to tell you how the level of participation.
Ume, your final take on issues-based campaign.
You see, it's unfortunate
in less than 1 minute.
It's unfortunate that their presidential candidate is guilty of what you just said. And I say this, you will never catch Atiku speaking ill of any presidential candidate.
I don't want us to throw blames.
No.
Young
I'm just,
persons,
I'm just saying that.
So I'm going to the point.
It's me being, it's an advantage to my candidate that we are focused on the issues, and that's why my candidate has remained on the issues.
So as a young person, not as a candidate now. So what are you doing?
As a young person, what am I doing?
Yes, to now encourage issue-based
My
campaign.
candidate has been focused on issue. There is no rally that my president has gone that he has not spoken on. Number one, restructuring.
What about you as a person?
Of course.
During your outreach and all that, yes.
My engagements, if you check very well, you see that I have maintained. He has not been able to tell you one thing that his presidential candidate will do. I have said what my presidential candidate will do.
He also said that.
No, he did not. See, I've told you that my presidential candidate will restructure Nigeria. In my opening poster, I said we are going to provide jobs upon
So now on issue-based campaign, please.
We are creating a 10 billion stimulus package for young people and women. That's what we're doing. I just
Thank
even
you
on the
very much, and I have taken this as a covenant from you.
So,
and after the election, we'll definitely
and
bring
mind
you
you,
back
my
here.
presidential candidate was the first to release his manifesto.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Ume, member strategic committee
and member of the PCC.
Member of the PCC, People's Democratic Party, for your informed perspective.
Thank you.
You've spoken for the youths, and I hope they heard you loud and clear.
And we'll win the election.
Exactly. Shehu Atta.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for coming. And we hope you continue with your school-to-school initiative, because the young people actually have to take their destiny.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, viewers, that's a wrap on today's program. Please collect your permanent voter's card and make a commitment to vote in the forthcoming election to guarantee a better future for all of us. Thanks for watching, and do join us again. I am Hamza Idris.